Alright, welcome back.
Welcome back. We're getting light shined right into our retinas.
He's a very shiny
water-type Diglett. This is better than the water-type Diglett that they made.
True.
You were talking about how the people who were your friends owning Star Wars.
Oh, right. That's what I was going on about. Yeah, I mean...
Welcome back, by the way.
Yes.
We haven't watched the last episode, you're a little confused.
Essentially, the quick and dirty of it is just like... I mean, simply put, it's like... If you like Star Wars, that's fine. I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't care.
I don't see any fandom having... I don't have an issue with any fandom. Mm-hmm. But, like, at the same time... Stop being dumb about your shit.
Yeah. Like, if you like garbage, that's fine. You can like all the garbage you want. But...
I'm only judging you.
But you then can't be upset when people don't like your garbage.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. That's mainly what I wanted to bring up was in the last episode, which is just like, it was just really funny to me because my friends was just like, here, watch this video about how people on the internet is disingenuous. And then the dude who was in the video was disingenuous.
Making comments and was being disingenuous themselves.
Yeah, that's what I always wanted to talk about because I just found that so ridiculous that I had to bring it up. And like, I'm not going to bring it up with them. Because they sent me the video and they were like, "It's amazing, you gotta watch it. It's so good." And I'm like, "You people are
don't understand sarcasm."
Yeah, I'm like, "You people are so stuck in being like, no, this franchise is good," and trying to convince me that it's good.
The worst
that
thing,
you're not even
the worst
thinking
thing
about
is,
it.
I like Star Wars. I really do like Star Wars, but I see the flaws in Star Wars. You know?
I mean, I've always been in the same boat, which is that Star Wars is okay. I would much rather watch Indiana Jones. I've always been in the same boat. You will never convince me that Star Wars is this amazing franchise. You'll never do it.
Chris will watch a property with Harrison Ford in it.
Yes. Harrison Ford is amazing. Star Wars is okay.
Well,
they're making a fucking Indiana Jones video game, and it's only going to come out on the original Xbox. As of right now, they might change their plans, so I might be buying a fucking Xbox just to play that goddamn game because it looks amazing. It looks like an episode of it looks like a movie, like the actual movies, like down to the writing and characters and everything. And I'm fucking super sold on it.
Well, you've heard the story about how, a second form of words here properly, how George Lucas, I guess, was tied down like to a chair by Harrison Ford and was like, "Read your fucking lines. Nobody talks like this, George."
Nobody talks like this, George. It's true.
Which is funny because like I can actually picture Harrison Ford doing that to fucking George Lucas.
Harrison Ford wasn't an actor.
Yeah, he was a carpenter.
He was a stagehand.
No, he was legitimately the carpenter for George Lucas's house.
Yeah,
that's how he got hired. Yeah. He was just like, "Harrison, you want to be in a movie?" And Harrison Ford was like, "Fuck it, we'll try."
That's how Johnny Depp got his start too.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think he was a carpenter, but he was like a stagehand. He just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
He was doing some random like stage work or something, like moving around like backdrops or some shit, and they were just like, "Hey, you're a good-looking person. You want to be famous?"
And then money got to him. And so did the drugs.
Money never got to him.
Yeah, Amber Heard.
The Amber Heard got to him. Johnny Depp is a pretty down-to-earth guy who owns his own island.
Hey man, he's not as cool as our boy Keanu Reeves, who buys fucking motorcycles for all his stagehands.
He has his own motorcycle company.
That explains some things.
That's why.
That explains some things.
He makes his own motorcycles and sells them. I hear they're okay. Alright, welcome back. Whoa. So, we had to take a slightly longer than usual step away for a minute. But...
So that's why there's a cut.
Yep. That's fine. All you need to know is that you missed nothing.
So, we were talking about Indiana Jones before.
Yes. We were talking Indiana Jones and how it's much better than Star Wars. And how their Xbox is getting an Indiana Jones game that may or may not be releasing on other consoles. They still haven't decided yet. because Xbox can't make up its fucking mind anymore about what it wants to, whether it wants to be a game company or a publisher.
Which is weird because, like, I know there's actually a decent number of exclusives from, like, other state consoles going on to that Game Pass thing.
It's not exclusives going to Game Pass, they're going to PC. Pretty much nothing exclusive to the other consoles are going to Game Pass.
Okay.
There's a few weird ones, right? Like, I think the Horizons Lego game is going to every platform, weirdly enough. Which I'm surprised they got Sony to agree to that. Because, like, Sony is usually absurdly protective about its IPs. Kind of to the point Nintendo is. But Nintendo is usually a lot easier to negotiate with, because usually if you want something from Nintendo, you can just give them something that they want, and they'll usually make a fair trade. Microsoft and Nintendo do deals like that constantly. That's why we have Perfect Dark now on both consoles. Because Perfect Dark is half owned by Nintendo and half owned by Rare. Or at least the N64 version of Perfect Dark is owned by Nintendo, because it's on their console. But the concept of Perfect Dark itself is not. So it's like half owned by Nintendo and half owned by Rareware, which is now owned by Microsoft. So if you ever see an announcement that's just like, we're getting a new Perfect Dark something, expect it to be on Nintendo or Xbox's show next. Because they always have, like, another thing. Because, like, Perfect Dark just came to the Nintendo Switch. Part of the advanced Game Pass bullshit.
Right. And, I did see that.
And fucking, like, literally the same week, Xbox had their showcase and they showed off that they're making a new Perfect Dark game. And I was just like, what a surprise. Every single time something Perfect Dark comes out, it comes out on both consoles. Every time.
Yeah, we'll take it.
But yeah, they usually do deals like that. I'm surprised they haven't made a deal for, like, Banjo-Kazooie yet. I'm actually surprised they haven't done it.
That game is in, like... That's franchise, as much as people would love to have another one, it's in this weird, really weird state.
It's really not in a weird state. The weird state is that Nuts and Bolts was so bad
comparatively
that it
to what
kind of
people
ruined the franchise.
Yeah, I'm sure if, like, people made, like, an actual Banjo-Kazooie in, like, the style of the old ones, people would buy it.
I'm sure they would, but, like, the thing is I don't think Rare wants to make it anymore. You know what I mean?
I don't think they think it's. I don't think they think it would be profitable.
I don't think it's that they don't think it's profitable.
I just went right through that fucking tree branch.
Yeah,
I hate Collision.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't expect it to have a hit Collision anyways.
Yeah, this is Nintendo we're talking about.
No, I imagine they wouldn't. No, I don't think it's that they don't think it would be profitable. I think they just legitimately don't want to make Banjo-Kazooie anymore, because no one wants to make 3D platformers anymore. Think about the last big company that made a 3D platformer, and then think about when they made another one in the last, like, even 10 years outside of Nintendo in Super Mario or Sonic, which technically isn't, like, first party.
I can't even count the Spyro remake.
Yeah.
Because, like, I wouldn't. That's not an original IP.
Yeah, it's a remake. Yeah. Crash Bandicoot is the only one. Crash Bandicoot 4. And it's not even made by the original people. It's not made by Naughty Dog. It's made by a completely different company and published by a completely different organization.
I know that, like, people have made 3D platformers from indie games have done it.
Yeah, but they don't count.
But they don't count.
I'm talking specifically, like, name a big name, like, not even first party, but, like, a big name, like, first or second party developer that's, like, tied to a console platform that has made a 3D platformer outside of Nintendo in the last, like, 20 years.
I got nothing, man. I literally got nothing.
Like, their last ones were on the PS2, and they never went back. Every single one of them, even if the games got another game, they weren't made by the original studio. They were, like, off-put to some other fucking third-party studio that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, no.
The only one I can think of is Sly Cooper 4, and that wasn't made by Sucker Punch. It was made by fucking Zaru Games.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. This is... I don't appreciate this.
Yeah, 3D platformers are, like, way beyond dead. They're, like, super dead, and they're never coming back.
That's upsetting. That's upsetting. I just love that, my brain just remembered Hollow Knight and the weird development of Hollow Knight.
Yeah. Game
was in, like, early access for a little while, came out, everybody loved it. Mm-hmm. Then they were like, we're gonna make a sequel! It will be out! Been, like, 5 years since they said that.
To be fair, that's about how long it takes to make an actual game. So,
yeah.
And they're technically an indie studio, so.
Oh yeah, no, it's. I mean, what they did with Hollow Knight
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
to be fair, the problem is they fucking Shigeru Miyamoto did.
Yeah,
They went into an interview and they're like, we're making another one, but they didn't fucking think of like how long it takes to make another one.
Yeah, they started that. They were like, yeah, we're making another one. And that was way too long ago.
It's like, I always have a joke that, like, every time Shigeru Miyamoto, like, gets on a microphone, every, like, higher up at Nintendo is like, oh my god, please don't say anything stupid, and then every time he says something stupid. And don't get me wrong, I love Shigeru Miyamoto, he's a fucking genius, but every time they give him a microphone, he's like, we're making this game, and I imagine everyone is just like, oh my god, we just started. It's not gonna be out for, like, 5 years. Well, why are you telling them this?
Well, here's something that makes me laugh. So during the Nintendo Direct just happened. So,
yeah.
During that thing, they sent out a tweet, we will not be talking about the Switch successor console.
Yeah.
And they actually followed through with it this time.
Yeah, because they didn't give Shigeru Miyamoto a microphone.
They actually were like, oh yeah, we actually aren't going to talk about it this time. Which normally they're like, we are not going to talk about the Switch successor console. And then they talk about the Switch successor console.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised though, because they can't talk about it yet.
But then, like, the day after the Nintendo Direct, at like 3 o'clock in the morning, they released a tweet. We will have more details about this later this year.
Yeah, that's the reason they didn't talk about it is because they can't. If they say it's coming out, well, the thing is, if they say it's coming out and it's coming out in a relatively short amount of time, people are going to stop buying games for the Switch.
Yeah,
because they're going to wait and save their money for the next console.
I believe they already said it's not going to come out until 2024. But like, or 2025. Sorry, 25. Sorry, sorry. The time is weird, and I still think it's like 2022.
Yeah, it's going to come out in It's gonna come out in fucking spring or fall. No, spring. It's gonna come out in spring of 2025, unless there's delays. Yeah. It's gonna come out in spring of 2025 because that's when every game company releases their game console. They release it in spring, so that way people have time to buy it for Christmas, and those who buy it early now have time to save money to buy a bunch of games for Christmas. Always comes out in spring. Everything is planned. Everything is planned. Yeah, that Xbox showcase, man. I gotta talk about Xbox actually a little bit.
Yeah, please do. I did not watch it.
It's fucking wild. So Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony all came out with their big showcases, and Nintendo's was good, but kind of what I expected, right? Pretty light. Not a lot of shit left because they're ramping up for their next console. So it's gonna be kind of slow. We did hear
Metroid Prime 4.
4. Which I think
a lot of people were expecting.
I'm going to be real with you. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a multi-plat. I'm pretty sure it's going to just come out on both consoles.
On the Switch and the Switch
too?
I
think it's going to come out on Switch, and I think it's going to be a day one release on the Switch too.
I think you're right.
That just like Breath of the Wild was all those years ago when the Switch came out.
I think you're going to be right on that.
Because it's going to be a big system seller, and I think they know that. Dude, speaking of Metroid Prime 2, I can't believe Nintendo fucked it. Yeah, Metroid Prime 4, my bad. I can't believe Nintendo fucked that up as hard as they did.
Yeah.
They were like, who should make the next Metroid Prime game? And they were like, well, Retro Studio made Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, as well as the Switch trilogy, the Wii Trilogy Collection. And they were like, oh yeah, that's a good point. We should have Bandai make it.
I didn't realize Bandai was making it.
That's because they're not.
Uh-huh.
They started it. This is why it took so long. They scrapped the entire thing and gave it back to Retro Studio because Bandai fucked it up so bad.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That Nintendo took it away from them and gave it to the studio that should have made it in the first place.
I didn't know that.
And everyone was just like, I can't believe Bandai fucked it up. I'm like, no, Nintendo fucked it up. Why in the right mind Nintendo is like, hey, let's give it to this studio that's never done this before instead of giving it to the one that made the entire trilogy.
Yeah, every other game they've made.
Like Retro, and it's not even like Retro isn't one of their like Retro's their second party studio. They have direct ties to their company. They own 49% of that company. Why would you not just give it to them?
Yeah, why don't you just give it to the fucking company that has already been proven to make the game, right?
Yeah, like, they've already proved they can make 3 of them. You were happy with them. And you own most of their company. So they're like a second-party studio that works directly under you. Why wouldn't you just let them fucking make it? I don't know.
I don't understand.
Like, my thought process was like, maybe they were busy making something else, but they haven't released anything in a while. So I'm like, they clearly weren't doing anything.
Who made the remake? Do you know?
I think Bandai did the remake, which is why I think they gave it to him. to Bandai to make the fourth one. But I'm not entirely sure because I never looked into it.
I mean, I have it.
But I think that's what it is.
Remember.
I think they did the remake, and that's why they were like, oh, they made the remake. They're good enough to make another one.
I love that logic, you know? I love that logic. Let's see,
Derek's like, I'm gonna find it. That's if they even put it on the cartridge because it's so tiny.
And it's actually a European copy. Because it was cheaper.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't argue with that. I was like, why is it a European? Oh, okay.
We ordered it from like Amazon and it came and I was like, why is it a European version? Who cares?
That's why I don't buy games online. Then no trust.
Yeah.
No trust unless they're a very reputable seller.
I think it was like $5 or
Asia
$10 like cheaper than buying it at Target. So I was just like, sure.
But then you gotta pay for shipping.
No, free shipping because Amazon Prime.
Okay, well then you're paying way more for shipping every month.
Stephanie Meyer ordered so much shit that it's fine.
Alright, fair enough. I won't argue with you. I mean, I will, but not on camera.
Yeah, we can't let them know that we aren't actually friends.
99% of all our conversations, Derek, what are you stupid? Why are you doing it that way? It's more expensive that way. Derek shrugs me. Alright, I guess I give up then.
Welcome to talking to people on the internet. It's too fucking real.
But yeah, so Xbox, they released their press, and Sony released theirs, and Nintendo released theirs. Nintendo's was pretty good, but it was kind of light, which was what I was expecting. Sony's was fucking bad.
I didn't
Which
watch
is
that.
unusual, because usually they, like, kill E3. But, like, I mean, some people probably have different opinions on this. I'm not a huge fan of the Soulsborne games, right? I'm not a huge fan of the Souls system of games. I'm not even kidding. 90% of the games they showed at their fucking press conference were just Souls clones. 90% of them.
And, like, I get that there's an audience for that.
Yeah.
I am not that audience.
See, me neither. And, like, I clearly...
And, like, nothing against the people who are, because, like, those are not bad games.
Yeah, well, no, here's the thing with this. I think, like, don't get me wrong, the Souls games made by actual, is it FromSoft?
Yes, FromSoft.
The ones made by actual FromSoft are incredible, and I'm sure they're always going to do well, because people know they're, like, the fucking bar for those games.
You set the bar high.
But people are getting sick of these fucking clones, because I couldn't, I was watching it live, and I could just see in the chat going by, fucking everyone being like, boring, Z's, sleeping, fuck this, boring, who fucking cares? Like,
It's too real.
and I'm like, people are sick of these fucking Souls games. I'm like, people gotta stop making these Souls games, because it's over. Like, no one cares anymore. Like... It's like Minecraft when every game was just like, now we have crafting systems, and that was cool for like a week, and then everyone was sick of all these crafting systems and games that don't need crafting.
What are you talking about? Every game needs a crafting system, Chris.
It's the same thing with like, and apparently a lot of it, I think, is because Sony was trying to double down on live service games, and they just canceled like 5 of them in a row because they're going nowhere, and people don't fucking like live service games, because a live service game only works if you can get enough people to play it to keep it running.
Yeah.
And you can only get that many people playing it consistently when they have the time to play it. And you can't get that many people doing that when they're all busy playing other fucking live service games.
So, I think the biggest live service game is, Fortnite.
Yeah, obviously. And even that's waning in popularity.
It's waning in popularity.
Like,
the game's fucking like 10 years old, too.
Yeah.
And
the thing is Fortnite's smart. They know it's waning in popularity, so now they're adding completely different video games inside Fortnite.
Yeah, like a Lego fucking Fortnite.
They have
Lego Adventure Fortnite. It's what the fuck?
That's whatever. It's not that. They just added Rock Band to Fortnite. Yes, Rock Band.
What?
The game Rock Band is now in Fortnite. It's even made by the same people who made it Harmonix. They built it into Fortnite.
That is amazing.
You can even plug in old Rock Band controllers to your PC with whatever adapter you have, and they will work perfectly with it.
That's amazing.
I know, right? That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But it just shows you that, like, people don't fucking care anymore. Like, people were like, so done with Fortnite that they're literally building rhythm games into Fortnite. Like, it's like, people don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah. I mean, Fortnite, I saw somebody talking about this, and it's the truest way of referring to Fortnite. Fortnite is no longer a game. It has transcended to like.
It's Call of Duty. It's just Gen Z Call of Duty.
It's transitioned from like a game to a distribution for other games.
Yeah, it's trying to be Roblox now.
Yeah.
That's literally what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
But before it was Roblox, and before it did the transition, it was just Gen Z Call of Duty. It was just the next game that all the kids grew up playing.
It was a battle for Real.
And now a lot of those kids have grown up more, and they're kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, don't really care anymore.
Like, I'm not even like a big like shooter type of guy. Like, I don't really like playing shooter games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give me a good fucking like strategy game. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, I'll play that for like fucking 5 hours in one sitting, and then realize it's fucking 2 o'clock and go, hey Chris, you want to come over and play Tekken?
Yeah.
That was literally yesterday.
Fair enough. It's understandable.
Or like another like puzzle solving type game.
Yep.
Any game like that. You know?
Yep.
I'm good with those type of games.
Yep.
But like, dude, too many fucking like clone games that I'm just like, I don't need another fucking battle royale fucking
like,
shooter.
We don't need any more battle royales. We don't need any more Soulsborne games. Everyone is fucking done with it.
Yeah, just let the people who make fucking the Souls franchise
make Souls games.
Make Soul games.
It's their franchise.
Yeah.
No one was able to beat them. You failed.
Like,
move on.
Like, hit me. I don't remember if I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure Elden Ring was made by the people who make Dark Souls.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Elden Ring is the same.
I don't know why. For some reason, I keep forgetting that they were the people who made it.
It's easier to just call them Souls games because everyone knows they're Souls games. But they made Elden Ring, the Souls games, obviously.
Demon Souls, Dark Souls.
Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and then Sekiro and they made like all the ones that people like.
I forgot they made that game. But no, dude, it's like insane.
Yeah, it's good. They're very good at it. These people need to stop making their Call of Duty killer. You know what I mean? That's essentially what every company is trying to be now. Is they're trying to be like
the Call of Duty killer.
They're trying to be like, we can make that game but better, and we're gonna get all the audience, and it never works.
Never works.
So yeah, it's just kind of whatever. But outside of that, it's funny because I watched this whole fucking thing, and I'm like, this is boring, another Souls game, don't give a shit. All these games look the same. I don't even know that these are different games. They all look the fucking same. Like, they're all realistic, stupid fucking Souls clones. And then finally, right across the screen, Astrobot. And I'm like,
what's this?
Oh, no way, they're not making an Astrobot game, are they? They're making a fucking Astrobot game. We're actually getting a first-party, non-Nintendo 3D platformer made by Sony. I was astounded. I was immediately hyped. I'm like, oh my god, Astrobot saved this whole goddamn conference. Thank you, Astrobot. The stupid free-to-play game that comes with every PlayStation console so that they can tell you how the new features of your controller work. Save this fucking console.
I was like, what is that? I know what that is. And now you know.
He's the free guy that comes on your PS4 to show you how your controller works, or the free guy that shows you how your VR headset for the PS4 works, or
that's
your free guy who shows you how your PS5 controller works.
That's why I know what it is.
He's getting a whole game that's actually coming out, and it's going to be an actual game, and I'm like, thank fucking Christ.
That's dope for shit.
Literally saved that entire goddamn conference. I was legitimately like, oh my god, thank you. For something that isn't Souls. Thank fucking God.
Yeah. Yeah. Catching a dragon, Dratini, because I love Dratini.
I too also like Dratini.
He's tiny and small.
He's cool.
And I also wanted to use the Premier Ball, so...
I'm not a huge fan of his, final evolution, because it feels incorrect, you know what
Agreed.
I mean?
Agreed. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't, but agreed.
It feels incorrect. There's, a theory about them being incorrect. It's not, but it's funny how it looks like it.
Well, there's a couple Pokemon that just do not have the right final evolution.
Yo.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about that another time.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that in the next episode. We'll see you guys then. Peace.